bubble puppy?
I brought her into my nursery at home where we have like oxygen bubble.
Oh.
Sally came to me from a breeder that couldn't take care of her any longer. She's got really bad pneumonia. She probably aspirated while nursing on mom, and she was blue, like she was gasping for air.
Oh.
I immediately put her inside of that bubble and let her just calm down with oxygen at first. And maybe after about 30 minutes of her being in there, her color changed. She was back to pink. But you could still see that she was struggling to actually intake enough oxygen. She was completely oxygen dependent. We couldn't take her out of the oxygen chamber at all. She was just our little bubble girl.
Oh, that's sad as fuck.
The plan was for us to keep her in our nursery until she was at a stable point to where she was adopted. I thought it was gonna be like maybe a week, maybe 2 weeks on oxygen to let the lungs heal, and that was not the case for Sally. Even though she was struggling and having increased respiratory in the bubble, she was wagging her tail, she was licking the window of the oxygen chambers.
What's that in her
It to be a
nose?
different outcome, and so we were fighting for her. We couldn't even go in there and like love on her because the second we would unzip it, all the oxygen would come out. We needed to make sure that her bubble was like very comfortable for her. We built our bubbles up with a ton of blanket. She loved her stuffed animals.
Oh, fuck.
As she grew, she became more playful.
Oh.
You're a bad girl. You're a bad girl.
So she could see out, and you could tell she would always be watching you because wherever we were, we brought her bubble so that she could like see what we were doing. Then one day she started like
Oh, this
pawing
is so
out.
fucking. Oh, my heart.
So I kind of unzipped it to see what she would do, and she just walked out. She was just kind of like looking around, like, oh wow, there's like something outside of my bubble. But then quickly realized she couldn't breathe. So I had to put her back into the bubble.
Oh,
But that
man.
didn't stop her from wanting to continue to try. We would try every day. We'd take her out of the bubble, let her walk around the floor, and usually within like a minute, she would be gasping for air. So we would put her back into the bubble.
Was it good? You having the best? Oh, is it comfy?
And we'd zip her back up and let her calm down, and then she'd be fine again. The doctors told us just to keep strengthening her lungs. So we would do that every day. Take her out.
Okay, it's going up.
And over weeks, we extended that period of her being out of oxygen by just like 30 seconds to a minute.
Hi, girl.
I wonder what it's like being in a bubble full of oxygen.
As she was growing, she was getting too big for this chamber that we have. So we had to like get creative and build her a larger enclosure. We built out of
You know how
our
much money this
plexiglass
probably
kennel,
was?
and
Fuck.
We made it to where it would still have adequate oxygen flow, and it was big enough for her to like run around in. She could now exercise her lungs in oxygen without just sitting in one little chamber. It was big enough for us to like climb in, play with her, and she would light up when we would go in there with her. She would come out. She would know when she needed to go back into the oxygen chamber.
Yeah, she's like, nigga, I can't breathe. Let me back in this motherfucker. This is
So once
adorable,
we got to the point where she was
man.
out for like 5 minutes, we started trying to take her outside in the grass because she had only ever touched inside.
Look at her coat.
She's like, oh my gosh, this is a whole new world again. She didn't do very well outside, and she was just like, okay, whoa, my lungs. So I put her back inside. So we would try that again every now and then. She seemed to like the grass. Eventually she started running through the grass. So we would open the door up and let her run around on the floor.
Wanna come back out?
And then she got slowly to the point where she was spending more time out of the bubble than in.
Nice.
One day, she just didn't want to go back in the bubble. She was playing, I would say like 30 minutes passed by, and I was like, okay, she's still out of the bubble, I don't know what's going on, and she's not struggling, and I was just waiting for her to run back to the bubble, and she never did. Then I started getting nervous. She was fine, but I was like, okay, I need to put her back in the bubble. And before I could even close the door, she had whipped around and tried to come back out. So we tried almost all day long to put her back into the bubble, and she would not go. And so she chose that day to no longer be there.
Nice.
After we got to that point where she was staying out of the bubble, we talked about her was adopted by one of my coworkers. Bonnie, she's also a technician. We both work together, so I would come with Sally in this big oxygen chamber every day to work. We would travel back and forth, and so she got to see the whole process. From the very beginning, we knew she was going to adopt her.
She was just an angel.
When Bonnie took her, we knew that she was at a stable point.
I set her up in this living room. She got introduced to all the dogs here.
Miss Sally, learning bad manners from the other crew.
And the kids loved her.
She has a shit ton of dogs. Fuck.
Her true spirit came out.
Sally, no. No, Sally. No. Sally, no.
We didn't know how long she could be out on oxygen. Do we need to rush her back into her bubble?
She's guard.
She didn't need it. She knew her limits as well. So she would come in here, she would play with the other dogs, and then I had a little bed for her with a blanket, and she would run to her bed and put herself in timeout.
Here, Sally. You gonna go for a walk?
Wow.
I know, you're so excited.
Our goal is to kind of have her live her life. There's a lot of stuff she missed out on in the bubble.
I love Sally too. Said you're not the only one. I'm already in love. I want this dog so bad.
On the wilderness.
What a trooper.
We haven't had the opportunity.
Look how
to
big
take
she
her to a
got.
dog park, and so it'd be nice to see how she interacts.
She got a snout on her though. Fuck. Nice.
Probably the longest she has walked. But normally she starts to slow down. She's doing good. Girl, Sally.
We're gonna take her camping soon. One of the biggest things is trying to get her accustomed to being around water and running water, and she absolutely hates the water. And we kind of have to let her set her own pace.
Are you ready to go swimming? What do you think?
I still have to fight my dog a little bit to take baths. Her paw pads are huge. Oh.
In there. She didn't jump out immediately, which is good. Yeah. You ready to be dry? Ready? Ready for a treat?
It's her first time going to a store to go pick out a toy.
Hello, pretty baby. How are you? You like it?
You want to see the purple dinosaur? I see it looking. I see it looking.
Ooh.
This is actually bringing a tear to my eye, chat. I ain't gonna lie.
Looks like she's already fallen.
My left eye is tearing up. I have to blink so it doesn't come out.
Found a winner. Is this it? Is this your toy? Is this your toy? Yeah. Yeah. She's so cute.
Your toy, yes. Exciting, yeah. And then, of course, outdoor dining. We want her to be active, and there'll probably be some other puppies there, and she gets to meet them as well.
Best friends, best friends. So that's what
I get to see too many puppies.
No, that shit stink.
Yes. I know, pretty girl.
To see her where she is now is like the best feeling in the world, and that is why we fight so hard for these babies. And I'm so glad that we did, because now she's like a healthy puppy, and she gets to live the rest of her life with an amazing family. And
That's so
now I get
good,
to see her
man.
at work, and we get to, you know, watch her grow.
You just out roaming. You just out roaming.
Catherine, Bonnie, Brian, Emma, and Gavin, you guys are heroes, man. You guys are literally probably the coolest people on earth. That was 100% worth the 10 minutes.